This is the Cold Steel Tai Pan, and this is a knife I have wanted for a long time. I'm going to call it 25 years, but I think it's been out longer than that. So I've wanted this since the moment I first saw it. And I don't know why I waited this long to get this damn knife. It is so awesome. This is the original Dagger from Cold Steel. They've come out with many more, but this is their classic, the Taipan. Taipan is a snake. I guess it's the deadliest snake in the world, and good name for this amazing dagger. This dagger has a lot going for it, and primarily, I would say it's the blade shape itself, where many daggers are sharp and pointy and great for thrusting, but not so good on a slash. This has a nice broad blade, so that these grinds, these bevels, can hollow out nicely and get thin behind the edge and be nasty, or I should say just efficient slashers and slicers. Yeah, this is as comfortable in a slash as it is in a thrust, I would say, which is not something you can say about every dagger design. This, in classic Cold Steel fashion, has the aluminum bolsters. The butt cap here is a skull crusher. And actually, I say in classic fashion, but if you want to talk true classic fashion, this is from the late 80s. This is the Master Tonto, and this was my first expensive knife ever. But you can see back then they used brass, which patinaed ever so nicely. It came shiny like this, and this is how it looks many years later, made in Japan. So this is in that classic dress of the early Cold Steel knives, and some of the and all the Tontos with the kraton handle and the full tang. This comes down, and then there's a it ends in a screw, and this gets screwed on there. And yeah, this thing is wicked. It's got a nice big guard there. So even if you like, a lot of people like to hold daggers like this in this side sort of shovel. I don't know why I'm calling it. It's sort of like a shovel because of the orientation of the blade. And it's like a shovel punch, like where your knuckles are parallel to the ground. This guard here extends beyond, even on this side, on the sides. So it acts as something to butt your finger up against. Not that you need it too much, because this is extremely grippy without being obnoxious. And this point is just very serious. It's a very serious point and diamond shape up there. So just a beautiful, beautiful knife. You can see this is a San Mai. This is VG-10 San Mai. So you can see the line where the steels. San Mai is it's a piece of hard steel in the middle that gets sharp, and then two pieces on either side. Sometimes it's folded in like a taco, and other times it's just three pieces of steel. But this is a San Mai, and Cold Steel has been doing San Mai forever, and this is the very first Cold Steel San Mai knife I have. They used to be always more expensive than the regular versions of their knives, but that seems to have shifted now, where it's more affordable, and 3V. Now they're making their premium fixed blades like this, and like the Vaquero, or the different large Bowies, the Natchez Bowie, and they're making them in 3V. And so the 3V knives are now the real expensive ones, like $500 for a 3V Natchez Bowie. Given it is a 12-inch, it's a giant hunk of 3V, but still, it's pretty expensive for a production fixed blade. This one was not. This was in my queue for a long time, or in my my Amazon thing, bin for a long time, and I finally just decided to pull the trigger so I wouldn't have to think about it anymore. It's been 25 years or more thinking about this knife, and now I have it. And yeah, I am crazy about it. Let me show it to you with a couple of other daggers and a couple of other classic Cold Steel knives. Okay, so I showed it to you with this, the Master Tonto, such an awesome knife. This is the knife that put Cold Steel on the map, and also popularized this Americanized Tonto, where you don't have that gradual sweep up that you have from a Japanese Tonto. You have a more faceted tip with a sub tip, and flat ground meets hollow grind. So there's that. Here it is with a somewhat classic dagger. This is out of production now. This is the Safekeeper, Peacekeeper. I can never remember all. They have some goofy names. This is the Peacekeeper 2. This is the smaller of this series. That's a 5-inch blade. So, I mean, you can see that this Taipan is a pretty big and serious knife. Let's see cutting edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.25 inches of cutting edge, and almost 8 inches overall blade length. Okay, a couple more. Whoops, dropping sheaths everywhere. A couple more to show. Here it is with the Laredo Bowie, which is much larger. Mine, I have a patina on from years of. Well, I patinaed it first, and now I see I didn't clean it last time I used it outside. So I gotta clean this up a little bit and sharpen it, as I do with this. I have not been able to get this blade clean ever since I hacked into a pine bough with it, and I've tried mayonnaise, I've tried denatured alcohol, I've tried, they say that the fatty stuff will get that off, but none of that has worked yet. But 2 other classic cold steel fixed blades here, and this Laredo Bowie is back from the era when they were making leather sheaths. I really wish they would go back to that, because they made some pretty slamming leather sheaths that have lasted a long time. This knife I have had for ages, this Trailmaster. A couple other knives I want to show it with. Oh wait, first, you might have this one, the SRK. This is probably their most popular fixed blade knife, survival rescue knife. This is a great knife. This one was in my wife's go bag from 2006 when she lived in London. I made her a go bag just in case she had to bail out. She'd have an adequate knife. Over there in England, they're not so into the knives, at least the government there. Okay, and now 2 really awesome daggers. The classic combat stiletto. This is the model 2.7 from Randall Made Knives. Similar to the Taipan, this has this is very slightly hollow ground, but has a broad blade with hollow ground bevels. This would be pretty good with a slash as well. So who knows, maybe sort of the spiritual godfather of the Taipan. Oh, there's a little scratch on that blade. How did that happen? Oh well. And then last but not least, another dagger that I absolutely adore. This is the Bill Harzy designed Spartan Harzy dagger. Really strongly influenced by the Fairbairn Sykes, the British commando knife. So yeah, look at that. That's a nice pairing. This is, if I were the knife guy in the cowboy movie, there's always a knife guy. This would be something I would have on my belt for sure. I might have this one under the arm in a downward facing holster, and then this scout carry, and then this hanging on the leg. That'd be cool. Yep. All right, back to reality and the Taipan. Thank you for watching. This thing is awesome. If you're on the fence, get the VG-10 San Mai version. It's way less expensive than the 3V, and probably you don't need the 3V unless you're out there daggering all the time, so much so that you have to worry about the toughness of your dagger. Chances are there's no one like that anymore. All right, thanks for watching. Take her easy.